What separates the good from the great? Is it skill, timing, or maybe something deeper like mental toughness? This was the burning question as Clark and Angel Reese squared off in the WNBA's most anticipated matchup of the season. With so much on the line, Rookie of the Year accolades, bragging rights, and the simple matter of victory, it was set to be a game for the ages. Could Clark's dynamic playmaking outshine Angel Reese's gritty dominance? As it turned out, the answer wouldn't come easily. Barbie night in Chicago was the backdrop for what quickly became an intense battle. From taunting to big shots, the game had it all. It started as the Indiana Fever initiated their first play, a familiar setup involving Clark and Boston connecting seamlessly to feed Kelsey Mitchell on a perfect baseline cut. Chicago, not to be outdone, responded immediately with a display of sharp ball movement that saw Smith and Boston make way for Kamilla Cardoso to score with ease down low. One of the early surprises was Michaela Onyenwere, thrust into Chicago's lineup after a recent trade. She proved her worth quickly, hitting a floater and showing that she could hang defensively, even if Clark punished her from deep early on. And just as fans were getting comfortable watching Clark, Angel Reese fired back, except her three-pointer was ruled out by a whistle. That didn't stop her though. Reese made plays on both ends, forcing turnovers and assisting Lindsay Allen, who then sank back-to-back triples. Chicago's unexpected sharpshooting kept the fevered crowd on edge as the first quarter drew to a close. Lindsay Allen, who had suddenly caught fire, rained in three-pointers, forcing Indiana to rethink their defensive strategy. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was quieter than expected, while Clark continued to find her rhythm, moving effortlessly around the court and drilling shots from downtown. The game quickly became a tug-of-war, and just when Chicago seemed poised to run away with it, Indiana clawed their way back. Kelsey Mitchell's quick scoring burst helped turn the tide, cutting Chicago's lead to single digits and setting the stage for a tight contest. The momentum swung like a pendulum in the second quarter. Lexi Hull, shooting an astonishing 70% from three-point range in recent games, kept Indiana in the mix with her sharp shooting. On the other end, Clark, with her trademark flair, nailed deep threes, including one from Steph Curry range. But as the pace quickened, tempers began to flare. The intensity of the competition manifested in physical play, and by halftime, Chicago clung to a slim lead, 47-42. The third quarter opened with Reese capitalizing on a technical foul, but Clark quickly grabbed the spotlight. After an inbound play, Clark unleashed her fury on Kamilla Cardoso, her national championship game rival, hitting a step-back three-pointer over the 6 feet 7 inches defender. This personal vendetta seemed to fuel Clark, who added assist after assist, pushing her way toward a double-double before the game was even halfway through the third quarter. As the game wore on, the rivalry between Clark and Angel Reese intensified. While Reese struggled offensively, she made her presence felt defensively, and when Chicago's bigs, players like Cardoso and Smith, began to tire, the Fever capitalized. Nalissa Smith, in particular, attacked Reese inside, absorbing contact and finishing through fouls. Clark, meanwhile, adapted to the flow of the game, showing her maturity by facilitating her team's offense and creating easy buckets for her teammates, such as Smith, who was carrying Indiana through the third. By the fourth quarter, with Indiana holding a double-digit lead, Chicago was running out of time. Clark continued to put on a show, though, hitting her sixth three-pointer and showcasing the poise that had made her a national star. But things took a darker turn. Diamond DeShields, frustrated by her team's performance, began targeting Clark with unnecessary physicality. In back-to-back plays, DeShields hit Clark with elbows and shoulders, actions that seemed more like cheap shots than defensive intensity. As tensions mounted, Clark, visibly angry, managed to keep her composure, refusing to retaliate despite the provocations. Her restraint paid off, as DeShields only succeeded in sending Clark to the free throw line, where she padded her stats. It was a testament to Clark's mental toughness that, even under physical duress, she remained focused on the game. By the time Clark checked out, her stat line was dazzling, and while the Fever had the game in hand, the night belonged to her. Clark had shown not just her skills but her ability to rise above adversity, solidifying her place as one of the WNBA's brightest stars. This wasn't just a game, it was a battle of wills, and Caitlin Clark proved she had the strongest one of all.